Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Uh this has been on my mind quite a bit lately, and I kind of been stocking up with a little bit of stuff, and you know, uh it's first aid. If it comes down to, crap hits the fan, it could be any kind of emergency, tornado, flood, whatever, and you need first aid supplies. Well, the best place to have them is at home. Okay. Now I've got some stuff here that I want to talk to you about. Uh Witch hazel. It's a good antiseptic, and it's got a lot of good uses. It's an old timey thing that a lot of people used to use, but you can use this in a lot of tinctures and stuff. And you make policies and stuff like that with witch hazel, and it's just from a witch hazel tree. It's just good stuff. And then you got just alcohol. This is 91%. It's as long as you don't open it, it's good forever. And I mean, it'll be good for a long time after you open it. But you can buy these with 2 and 3 packs and stuff like that, and they're not that bad expensive. But alcohol, you get a cut or something, you want to make sure it ain't infected. Put some of that on it, and it helps a lot. Uh, Peroxide, I like peroxide a lot. It's good. Same thing if you get a cut or a scrape or whatever to flush it out with. Now, I'm the mean guy. I have toothbrushes and stuff that I keep for just purposes. Like they're the little soft ones. It ain't the ones I use to brush my teeth. It's just like little soft toothbrushes. But if you get a cut or a scrape or a gash or something, you come to me, it may get some peroxide, and I'm gonna take that brush and I'm gonna scrub that out to make sure there ain't no dirt, debris, or anything there that's gonna get infected. Then we'll flush it out with a little alcohol. I know your eyes are gonna go cross and everything like that, but that's a measure that needs to be took. Okay, I've got hand sanitizers and stuff like that. That if I'm having to deal with you and you have a cut, a scrape, whatever, I'm gonna put on gloves, and then I'm gonna take and use that hand sanitizer stuff when we get done, and that I have to wash my hands. I'm gonna sanitize my hands up, and that way, if you have any kind of blood disease or anything like that, I don't attract it. Okay. Another thing is on a bad cut or gash. Hey, you keep this little sewing kit is here for a reason, and there's some big old upholstery needles in there. They're not that big around, but they're kind of long and thin, and they're like a hook. Well, if I need to give you stitches, I can do that. It don't bother me to do it. I would just go end to end, and then tie it up, and then do just move them off every so often, and then after 7 days or whatever it got ready, we'd take them back out. Stitches ain't that hard. It just you got to find something to numb it with, and we'll discuss some herbs and stuff like that that will help with that. There's one called wild lettuce or Bayer lettuce, or it's called liquid morphine. It's got a morphine type uh, milk in it. You can rub that on there and it'll go numb, and I can stitch it up. We'll wash it out. You're good to go. But you got to have somebody that's willing to, not worry about, oh, I'm going to hurt him. Oh, I can't do this. You got to get over that, people. There ain't going to be no doctors run to if it gets really bad. Like, if it's a crap hit the fan situation, somebody's going to have to man up, woman up, something. If you got a neighbor that's a doctor or a nurse or, somebody like that, man, go talk to them and say, hey, look, if it ever did happen and something's going wrong, and say it's a poop hit the fan situation, can we count on you to step up and be like the doctor or the nurse for everybody? We'll do the gardening and stuff like that. You can help, but we need to know that we have somebody that will do that. And then talk to your group and tell them, say, okay, we need to get a bunch of medical stuff together so we have it if we ever need it. And if you go to well, we'll discuss that in a minute, but just get it together as a group and start laying it up, and that way it don't break your bank account. Okay. Now, a simple thing, do is just order your first aid kit. You know, they come with, this is the one for my truck. This is my get home bag first aid kit, which I showed it to you once before. It's got Q-tips, it's got bandages, it's got tourniquets, it's got alky pads, it's got disinfectant wipes, band-aids, it's got a pair of scissors, uh, I've got anti-diarrhea pills in case you drink or see something that makes you sick. I've got aspirins or the acetaminophen in here, the Tylenol, and then I've got allergy medicine here. I've got teeth and stuff, like if you get Orajel and stuff like that in here. I've got tweezers in case you get a splinter or something. You got tweezers. I also have a flashlight in here just in case. It's a rechargeable flashlight. That's just in case you don't be trying to do this stuff in the dark. But I've got gauzes, tapes, you name it, it's in here. And I tried to make this. I've got gloves and stuff too. So if it's I'm not working on myself, I can work on somebody else, or somebody else has to work on me. But I tried to make this. I added a lot to this kit because they don't come, fully loaded like they should be. And I had to think what it needs more stuff. What does it need? And I keep this in my truck. And it could be somebody has an accident and you need to help. You got your little first aid kit. You run over and do what you can do. These are handy. I recommend everybody have one in their vehicle. But now I've got a get home bag we talked about before, and this stays in my get home bag because it's just a nice little convenient kit. But now if I'm home, I've got medical supplies here. But another thing is, I don't know how to say. Let's go with your medications. If you got medications that you have to take every day, like I do, I've got to have a fluid pill that keeps me from, building fluids up in my chest. I take a allergy pill every day. Actually, 2 of them. I keep nitroglycerin, in case like you're having a heart attack. Nitroglycerin pills on hand. I have pills for gout, and I try to. You can go to your doctor and ask them. Say, look, I like to maybe get a few extra to have at the house in case there is an emergency. It could be a flood, a tornado, a hurricane, anything. And ask them, is there any way that now they're probably not going to do narcotics, but they might let you get, like an extra thing. Now, see, all my medicine comes in 90-day refills. It's 90 days. So, I've got 3 months in these bottles, and, you can, get a good supply like that. If they come every 3 months, at least you'd have a couple months if something went wrong, here at the house. Another thing to look at and think about is, we'll do this one. This is a book on herbal remedies and stuff of, plants in your yard and stuff that can be turned into medicines and stuff. This here is my poison ivy oil. And, if you get poison ivy, this has a plant called jewelweed in it, or touch me not. You can just reach your finger and rub that all over that poison ivy, and it'll go away in a day or two, and it helps tremendously. And I take these CoQ10s. I try to keep a couple extra bottles. My Bayer aspirins I try to keep extra bottles. And like these nitroglycerins, they go bad, they get weaker over time. But like they give me one every, about a year. Well, I keep the one for the year past, so if something did happen, I would have some, because that does save your life. And if I get any kind of medicines ahead, I try to put them up. And remember, always, if you do get your medicines ahead, use your old ones and put your new ones back, and that way you've always got, fresh medicines. Another thing you want to think about is vitamins. I keep vitamin C and for the winter, so you keeps your immune system up. I keep zinc for the same reason it builds your immune system. But another thing to think about is, if you're at a crap hit the fan situation, you may not be eating, exactly what you should have for as, meats, vegetables, carbs, and all that. Okay. These multivitamins are a great thing. You can take a multivitamin a day and it'll give you what you need in your body to do every day, even though you're not able to eat it. So I got multivitamins for stuff like that. Okay, another thing you want to think about is lotions and stuff, to help keep your skin from drying out and cracking and stuff. And another thing I know I have some in here, but be sure you have some antibacterial soap. Dial and several of them makes antibacterial soap. And that way, if you do get a cut or something, you can return, just give it at least a good washing. Okay, I also do this aloe vera gel. Now, I have aloe vera plants, but I also have this aloe vera gel. And that way, if you get sunburnt, you have something to put on it and try to relieve it. Because they ain't nothing hurts no worse than a sunburn. And, I try to keep things for about any situation, that could happen, like, anything from a headache right on through. Okay. Now, this is more of a, a lot of people ain't gonna have this, but it's potassium iodine tablets. This will protect you from nuclear radiation and stuff. And you can get these from Amazon and stuff like that. You just order these up and you take them. I think it's one a day or maybe one every so many hours. What it does, it protects your thyroid and stuff from the radiation fallout. But this is a good thing to have. This is 6 bottles, and there is some more here every time I go and they're on sale. I try to buy a few bottles, and that way there's a good supply of them. If we ever do have a nuclear war, a man might survive it with that, or at least help you with it. Okay, I bought this off of a buddy of mine that does the Walmart returns. He buys those big pallets. Well, I told him, I said, man, if you get him Band-Aids, anything like that, let me know. He let me know. This is my first aid bag for the house. Now, in here, this is a bag of just Band-Aids. Hundreds of Band-Aids. Different sizes and everything. This is just Band-Aids. No gauze, nothing like that. It was just little open, like boxes of Band-Aids. And they was taking up so much room, I just put them in a Ziploc baggie, and we can, you can just grab them out like that. Okay, gauzes, lots of gauzes, and I've got the tape in there for it, and I've got a pack of razors in here, so if you have to cut it or whatever, you have a way to cut stuff. I've got a pair of scissors, and there's just a lot of different sizes of gauzes. Now, if you get a real bad cut, cornstarch is a good blood stopper. I mean, it'll stop it pretty quick. And you might want to, put some cornstarch on there, wrap it up in gauze and tape, to protect it. But, I mean, there's probably 35 or 40. And I tell you, I've got a razor in here. If it's a real, like me, man, I'm older and my arms are hairy, my legs are hairy, everything. Well, you might have to take and shave that off before you can get a good, tape and stuff to stick to it like it should. So, I would keep a little old, like a razor, like women shave legs, with a disposable razor in there, just so you can, clean that area off to where you can make bandages and gauze stick. Okay. I keep a bag with baby aspirins. There's Excedrin, Tylenol, complete for colds and stuff. There's Neosporin. I've even got stuff here for athlete's feet. I don't have it, but if you get it, it'd be a nice thing to have. Benadryl creams. You know, it's got all kinds of stuff in here that, you know, you might need if the situation goes wrong. And I have more of these in a cabinet, but this is, I can grab it and, you know, have pretty much what I need when I get to the person that's hurt. Now there is more. I have, you know, like Benadryl and Excedrin and, you know, all that. And I have like, what is it? Airborne. I've got, you know, a lot of flu and cold treatments. And then I also make a cough syrup, you know, out of elderberries and stuff like that. And, you know, that way it helps build your immune system, and it's really good for colds and flus and stuff. But right here is, you know, it's always good to have this stuff. And, you know, you don't have to buy it all at once. If you're over at Walmart, man, or wherever you buy your medicines, you see, you know, like these low dose Bayer aspirins or something. That's something I have to have every day for a blood thinner. You know, I make sure I have several bottles of that. And, you know, headaches and, you know, fever and stuff like that, you're going to be able to cure all that. So, you know, that's a good bag right there to have. And I have the wipes, alky wipes and stuff like that in here too. I have the antibiotic ointments and stuff like that. That way, if you need it, it's right there in this little bag. I even have toothache medicine in here, or gel and stuff like that. Okay. I take a shot every 2 weeks, and I take a shot every day. I take a shot that's for helping me lose weight in a diet every day, and then I take a shot every 2 weeks. And they send me these little alky pads. So, you know, I had like 3 or 4 boxes, and, you know, I just put them in this Ziploc baggie, some of them in this Ziploc baggie, and put them in my emergency kit. That way, if you need them, you got alky pads real quick right there at hand. Okay. In here, I have Ivory, Dial. I've got different kinds of soaps because you do want a way to wash your hands. And this ain't necessarily first aid related, but I have toothpaste, and I've got toothbrush. I've got lotions, shampoos, and stuff like that, because honestly, if you're dirty and you're getting cuts and scrapes, that's the number one way to get a real bad infection. So to me, hygiene, a small hygiene pack like this would be well worth, you know, carrying around in case of, you know, and let's say somebody gets hurt and you want to go wash your hands real quick. Well, I got a bar of soap right here I can do that with. And, you know, that's something I keep with me, you know, so I have the hygiene stuff. And like I said, if you're cut real bad and I need it cleaned out, right there's a toothbrush and I'll scrub it out for you. Okay, these right here are plastic Band-Aids. They're the big ones. I've got them kind of separated because they're you know, a lot bigger Band-Aids, and they stick a little better to me. So, you know, I've got them in a separate baggie. Gloves, latex gloves, and I've got boxes of these under the cabinet in there that come from him. But I keep latex gloves with me in case, you know, something like that should happen. These little cold and hot packs, you know, they're real handy. You know, if you got a muscle ache or something like that, you know, you just take and put it in hot water or something for a few minutes, and you take it out and hold it on your leg or whatever. Here's some more Band-Aids that wouldn't fit in that other pack, but these are like knuckle Band-Aids and stuff. You know, where like if it's on your hand right here where you bend a lot. The other ones don't hold real good right there. Now, I have tourniquets and stuff like that, you know, in here to where if you're bleeding real bad, I can tourniquet you and stuff. But, okay, this here, I've got it in here. It's like, it's not a gas mask really. It's a, like, you know, COVID's going around, I can put this on if you got something like that, and it keeps me from contracting all that mess. And I bought several rechargeable, cartridges for it, and I've got a face shield in there that keeps it from, where nothing will splash in my face if you're bleeding or whatever. I've got some gloves in here that go from up above my elbows. The vet had them, and I asked him about them. I said, "What would man have to do to get a couple of them?" And he just read them to me, So I put them in there, and that way, if you're bleeding real bad or whatever, we got that covered. And you cannot have enough medical supplies ever. I'm adding to mine all the time. If I see something and I think I need it or I want to put it in here, and I've got the money, I'll buy it. Because if it comes down to a crap hit the situation, crap's done hit the fan situation, all this stuff can be used. Okay, let me get this back in this bag. Now this ain't all of it. Give me just a second. Okay. Now, I have right here my blood pressure kit. I've got several kits to test sugar with, but I keep this, where I can use it. And my sugar test kits too. And I've got strips and stuff like that where something like that happens. You got, somebody, you can check somebody's blood pressure or their sugar levels and stuff and so on. But that's a good thing to have around. I used to have to, I still wear I have oxygen. I don't have to use it as much, but I do have an oxygen machine that I bought used. I have a couple bottles of oxygen. If the power's out, I can use those that I bought used, but they're full. I bought hoses, the little things and the cannules and everything. And that way I have them when I bought those used, And sometimes you can go to those places that rent that stuff, out to, the companies that has the oxygen machines and all that, the medical place. And, they're old ones. They might be 4 or 5 year old, but they'll use it, sell them to you real reasonable, or you might be able to get them to order you a new one. I've got a nebulizer. I was talking to the lady and I said, at the time I was using it, for my asthma, and my mother-in-law was on one, using one because she had, problems with breathing. And I told him, I said, I'd like to have a spare. And that way, if I'm using mine or, I have to bring her one, she would have it. So we bought another one. And best I remember, they were $35 or $40. It wasn't that bad considering what it is. Okay. I have braces. Like when I fell, broke my wrist, had to have all these surgeries and stuff on my wrist. I kept all these, like this one here, that you put your arm in it, and it's just an arm sling, and it comes with a thing goes around your waist that make you hold your arm up against your body, like if you're having to move them. You wrap this around them, and it holds their arm real close to them. It keeps it from being moved so much, and it can so it don't cause as much damage and stuff. And this one, these have been in a drawer back here, but I need to get them out and I'll wash them all and stuff again, and put them in the bag. Here's another one. It's just a regular, go put it over your head, put your arm in it, and I've got back braces, where my back's bad, and if I have to lift something, I go ahead and put that back brace on to kind of keep it from ringing me in two. These are for your leg. They're called active gear. They're for your knees and stuff. If your knees is giving you a hard time, you can use this to help alleviate your knee pain. That goes to extend that one thing out. That one I was trying to get. Okay, right here. These are just little old things to help, like where this wrist is weak. I'll take and go ahead and if I'm gonna be lifting something or something, let's say somebody messes up a wrist, gets it hurt, you know, you can just wrap it up and kind of give that wrist something to hold on to. Like you do it like that, then you could always put you a splint up here into their hand and then wrap these around it to help hold it straight, even if you has a broke arm. You know, I just like these because, you know, if you got a broke arm and I need to splint your arm, I could put anything right down through here and then just wrap this, which I'd have both hands to do it, but, you know, I could take and put that around and make it help hold that straight and stiff. Then we can stick it in there. Or you can wrap it around your leg, do the same thing. And then I actually have the one that I keep it in my truck in case I'm lifting because this hand ain't what it used to be. I'll put it on. It's got a metal prick runs right down through here. But if I lift, it helps, you know, keep my wrist from breaking over. And I keep it for purposes like that. But if I had to, you know, if somebody else needed it, it's there. And, you know, if any of these like this you get or see, buy back braces. You know, you can buy these knee pad things, these knee braces. I've got them for my ankles and stuff like that. I keep them all back here in a pretty good sized drawer. And that way I know if I need it, it's right there. But I pulled these out real quick just show you. You know, it's a good idea to have things like that. Anything medical, you're going in the right direction. You know, look into antibiotic ointments, lotions, stuff like that. All that is good stuff. And, you know, hey, eventually they're going to run out. Have one of these books right here. This is just medical herbs of the Appalachians. Okay. You know, I can go in here, look and see what's, you know, ailment is and what plant's good for it. And then, you know, with a little bit of work, I got a tincture for it or, you know, a salve or whatever. But, you know, I'll be honest with you, there's everything. I don't care if you can get it. Because, you know, it may come a day you have to have it. And, you know, you can take a big tote bag or something and put all this stuff in. Like, you know, this here come from him. And, you know, I just stuck it all in here and I zip it up. And that way, you know, if I need to run with it, I can. And, you know, if I just need a Band-Aid, which I keep Band-Aids in the medicine cabinet and everywhere, keep them in my truck and all. But, you know, that's not a bad first aid kit. I don't, I'm always looking for any kind of medical devices that I can get my hands on. You know, if it's a blood pressure kit, if it's a blood sugar kit, anything like that. I've got neck braces in there that, you know, you can put around somebody's neck. And, you know, if you had to have a backboard, hey, you can make one out of 3/4 inch plywood if you're really that bad, you know, and if somebody needs to be moved, you just rip a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, cut some handles in it, have it laid up summers, where if they needed it, you know, you could get somebody and, you know, roll them up on their back or on their sides, put that backboard under, ease them back over, and you could always put, you know, some kind of Velcro straps on it to help hold them in place, like, you know, you have it to ambulance and stuff. You might be able to buy some of them things like they got them backboards and stuff, and they get old and they're replacing them. You know, you can check with the ambulance companies. They may have stuff like that. And, you know, if they're replacing equipment, you know, they might let you buy some of that stuff pretty reasonable if you want to have it on hand. And another part of this is, you know, you might want to talk to your fire department. They may have stuff like that. They may have, you know, money or, you know, where they can give you stuff. The ambulances, you know, if something, let's say, goes obsolete, or it goes, you know, let's say it's Band-Aids and stuff, and they get a whole new kit of Band-Aids, they might be willing to, you know, sell or give you those Band-Aids just to help you out, you know, so you have some. But it don't never hurt to check. I don't know what the rules on all that is. I'm pretty sure there's some equipment out there you can't buy, like them paddles and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you can't buy them. But, you know, you can always take the old lady's taser. If you ever get hit with them, good grief. But, you know, I just want to come on here and get everybody thinking about, you know, your first aid stuff. And, you know, you may want to go deeper into this, you know. I don't know if I'd want to do surgery on somebody if I had to, but you know, you never know what might happen. And remember now, I've got cornstarch back there, lots of it. But cornstarch is a great blood stopper. You know, you just sprinkle it on there, wrap it up, and he'll stop that bleeding. Uh, them bullet wound pads, if I'm not wrong, they just got cornstarch, you know, put in them, and you stick it up in there, and that cornstarch stops that from bleeding. But you know, you want to be able to cure anything from a mosquito bite. I've got a snake bite kit over here on the refrigerator, about that big. It does mosquito bites, snake bites, and all that. You know, in case you never know. Uh, but you know, there's all kinds of medical supplies and stuff that you could get. I will look into it and try to get anything I can get my hands on, and that way you'd be supplied up. Well, I guess I've talked about the first aid stuff enough. If y'all have any questions or comments, you know, just write them below, and we'll talk about them. My particular death, I try to answer every question or comment. But I'm gonna do one here about emergency cooking if you know the power's out or if it's the crap hit the fan situation. I don't know if I do it today. It might be tomorrow. But I'm gonna do one of those to you know kind of give people ideas of you know what to use and how to use it. And you know we'll go with that. And but I want to touch. Oh, here's another thing. These little spray bottles, you can take and buy these anywhere, the dollar store and stuff like that. You can take this alcohol and pour it in that, and then it you know gives it a flow. It kind of gives it some pressure. If you're cleaning something out, it helps clean it out. Or if you're doing like a bigger area, you can spray it in a broader area. These are a good thing to have. I keep these in my kit too. I think this one has rubbing alcohol in it for the, you know, purpose if I have to, you know, disinfect something. But oh, another thing. Fingernail clippers and stuff like that, keep them. They're awful handy about, you know, if you gotta get a splinter. These work too to get splinter stuff out. Toenail clippers, fingernail clippers, files, stuff like that. That way you can clean out your fingernails and stuff, you know, and make sure that you don't get in here, oh, I got an itch. Well, then you get that infected by doing that with your dirty fingernails. All right, I'm going to let you go. I hope this gives you an idea of stuff that, you know, for first aid and, you know, build up a first aid kit. You'll never go wrong with having first aid. Well, I'm going to let you go. Y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next video.